You know what I think about when I think about Christmas? Michael Myers.
The first Halloween film I saw was the shitty Halloween Resurrection, and it had a lasting impression on my 7-year-old self. But hey, I am who I am now because of it. The character of Michael Myers has always resonated with me since then. Even though a lot of the films they're just fucking stupid. They're gonna say something stupid about it like evil never ages or some dumb shit like that. You heard it here first, I'm calling it right now, they're gonna say something like that.
Let's watch the new trailer just because.
Alright, where's it at? Send me that link, though.
I am.
He was shot by his own psychiatrist and taken into custody.
This takes place after the first movie, right?
Yeah, they completely negated, like,
So-
2 through...
So how'd they get him back?
Hello, Michael.
Didn't he escape, like run away? Disappear?
You might like to see.
Hey, stop it. Maybe they'll explain it.
Probably not. That's cool.
Wasn't it her brother?
What, the turning thing?
No, how the music and the editing
Yeah.
go together. It's
Ah.
cool.
I pray every night that he would escape.
Yas Queen.
The bus crash.
Blumhouse is the new dimension. Quote me on that.
Escape.
Ah! Mask is lit. That's all I care about. That's all I care about is the mask. All right, let's watch the second trailer and have it show way too much. Silence is not cool. Silence is not cool. I feel like they should have just left it silent for the whole thing. Just
Yeah.
not add that.
It
dumb
probably
sound
would be
effect.
silent in theaters, hopefully.
Nothing but respect for my Laurie Strode. Yeah, I like the first trailer more.
Yeah, the first trailer is much better.
Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up! Up you wake, up you wake, up you wake, up you wake!
Felt good to see that again.
Okay, I'm gonna start off with what this movie does well, because I'm not just gonna bash this film for things it does right. First of all, the movie is shot very well. Michael Simmons, who's the cinematographer of this film, did an extraordinary job with what's on screen. For example, when Michael first gets his iconic mask on, that entire 30-second sequence is haunting. He looks so freaking horrifying, and it's great. His first breaths in the mask emphasize the scene as well. This film felt like a high-budget indie film, and with a budget of around $10 million, it certainly might as well have been. The music throughout the film is incredible. John Carpenter is back, and literally better than ever, composing the music for the film, and it is so good, fam. Like, so good. I loved it. I liked how Michael's face was not shown. We would get small glimpses of the side of his face, or how his face would be covered in darkness, and the true time we actually see him is when he puts on the mask. That's amazing. It made me as an audience member tilt my head and try to look at his face, but like we couldn't see it. Really cool. Really cool. I am really glad that Michael is not Laurie's brother in this continuity. It turns Michael back into an evil psychopath that doesn't have a real method to his madness. He kills just because, and it's amazing. We don't need him to have a motive to want to kill, and it's cool to see him just kill again. He's not chasing Laurie or anything, he's just murdering random people. And he killed a kid. He is evil as fuck. All the kid wanted to do was dance, but Michael killed him. Also, real fast, my man ripped out some niggas' tooths.
Whoa. Are we allowed to say that on YouTube?
Well, I can say it. I'm African American.
All right. I mean, go ahead. No one can tell you different, I guess.
Laurie's PTSD and what she has become ever since 1978 is awesome. I just wish we got more of her story instead of her fucking granddaughter. There's a really quick shot of her screaming in the car with Michael walking in the background, and it's so cool. That shot was probably the highlight of the movie for me, to be honest. It was so awesome. I really liked the "got you dead" sequence she had with Judy Greer in her home. Those are all the things I liked in this movie. But yeah, I think now is a great time to get into why this movie is the most disappointing movie of the year for me. First and foremost, this movie is fucking boring. This might just be the goddamn most boring Halloween film since Halloween Resurrection, because a lot of the films are boring. When I tell you nothing happens in this movie until around an hour 20 minutes in, oh my god, I was so sleepy and so bored. I expected a cohesive and interesting story, but instead got a dumb, boring mess of a movie with the strangest moment of expectation subversion since The Last Jedi. The moment everyone and their mother was talking about in this film was the scene involving New Loomis. We are with him literally twice in the film before this weird subplot is explored. As soon as he puts on the mask to scare Laurie's granddaughter in the car, it took me out of the movie. I was gone. This movie went from boring to stupid and boring real fast. It doesn't help that this scene and moment feel like they were only added in the movie to bring Laurie's granddaughter to her house for the final confrontation with Michael. It is so random and so weird. The entire time this movie is a slow burn, and when something finally quote-unquote happens, it is left alone 5 minutes later. How is this movie the Halloween movie that John Carpenter gave his blessing? I don't freaking get it. Throughout the film, it is set up that Michael is going to speak. I kind of thought he would talk or something. It probably would have been really dumb if he did, but yeah, it was properly set up throughout the film. Was kind of disappointed that he didn't. The dialogue in this film is atrocious. From having peanut butter on your penis to super questionable exposition, like the conversation after the got you dead sequence, to talking about what kind of sandwich you're going to eat while on police duty. It's really strange. There are multiple instances of comedic moments placed throughout the film, and I don't think it works in the slightest. Sure, the little black kid is funny, but when Michael appears to kill his babysitter, it is supposed to be a moment of fear. When he cracks a joke, it kind of ruins the moment. Also, this is a quick side note, but he literally disappears. We don't see him again after that moment. His babysitter dies. Whatever. I guess he's not important to the story at all. If he's not important to the story at all, why was he in the fucking movie? Another thing this movie does stupidly is how its generic horror film cliches are ever present. Jump scares, victims tripping on air while escaping the killer, horny teens. It's all here. It just feels like a huge waste of time. Also unrelated, but do white people call their grandma grandmother? Is that real?
Superman was never real.
Does anyone really care about this teenage drama? Oh my god, my boyfriend is kissing another woman. It is so boring and ridiculous. Show us Michael and Laurie and develop them some more. And the cheese thing with the phone? Why didn't she just wipe the cheese off the phone? Are you that privileged that you're able to just get a new phone in the morning? Must be nice. Okay, there's a lot of nitpicky stuff that really annoy the hell out of me that I really want to mention after my second viewing of this film that I really do not know how to properly transition into. Just note real fast that throughout my notes I have "this is boring as shit" written throughout. In the beginning of the film, when the inmates are outside, are they usually just put outside to just stand there? Is this what happens in a mental institution? The editing in this movie is kind of bad. For example, the transition to the podcaster saying, "Say something," to the intro theme with the pumpkin was awful. How did Michael get captured after he escaped in the original film? Would really love to know how that happened. The dinner scene with an intoxicated Laurie showing up had way too many weird and freaky cuts. It was so nauseating. What was with the dancer kid and his dad in that whole conversation? That was so weird. The mayor in the film was like, "What are you gonna do, cancel Halloween?" Quick shout out to Chris Christie for canceling Halloween during Hurricane Sandy.
Halloween will be on Monday in New Jersey.
My power knows no bounds. No bounds at all.
Michael is like 60, but he shouldn't be so agile, am I wrong? Laurie says, "You're just standing here, please do something," and I'm like, "Yes, Laurie, yes." Michael gets shot with a shotgun point blank, and it only does 8 damage to him like the shotguns in Fortnite. The entire setup of an epic showdown between Laurie and Michael would have been worth it if the showdown wasn't boring as hell. There's a weird out-of-place montage of Laurie's granddaughter going into the woods and freaking out over a field of mannequins. Why? Okay, that's actually the end of my nitpicks. But I wonder if Michael is actually dead. I guess we'll find out in Halloween 2, 3.
After revisiting all of the Halloween films, I don't know what I could have expected besides something that is either just okay or something completely atrocious. And from watching all the other Halloween videos we made, you know that I don't think any of these movies are good, so it's not like I expected the series to be redeemed all of a sudden. This is another Halloween film that treads over the same idea of how a victim of an abuser deals with finding themselves again, and it's whatever. It's certainly more relevant now more than ever. The thing with these movies is that anything that they retread from the original is usually fine, but whenever they add something new, it's always dumb. Always.
Runes are a kind of early alphabet that originated at about 500 BC. They were symbols carved out of stone or pieces of wood used in pagan rituals to portend future events.
I totally forgot to bring an octagon. This is embarrassing. Okay, don't worry. We can go find one. Come on, let's go find an octagon. Stop! Sorry, Elmo, I can't stop at the stop sign right now. I'm busy looking for an octagon.
With a curse of thorn, to offer the blood sacrifices of its
Okay,
next of
Elmo,
kin,
I
line
see
of
the
Sammy.
stop sign, but I have to find an octagon.
sacrifice
If I
of
stop,
one
how can I find an
family
octagon?
meant
How,
sparing the
Elmo?
lives of an
How?
entire tribe. For years I've been convinced
Wait a
there
minute.
must be some reason.
Look!
Some method
The stop
behind
sign
Michael's
has
madness.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 glorious
The
sides.
Druids were also great
and 1,
mathematicians
2,
and astronomers.
3, 4,
The thorn
5,
symbol is actually
6,
a constellation
7,
of stars that
8
appears from
stunning
time to time on
angles.
Halloween
The
night.
stop sign is an octagon. We found an
Whenever it appears
octagon.
from
Octagon.
Coincidence?
I didn't really expect to be wowed, and I wasn't. Halloween 2018 is basically an overproduced version of the original, and I'm giving Halloween 2018 a 5 out of 10.
This movie was unsatisfying. It was disappointing. The movie is really like awful except for the third act, and even that was unfocused and confusing. It's so disappointing. All the hype, ugh. The journalists are in the movie to give us backstory and exposition that we already fucking know. It's a waste of time, and unworthy of the blessing that John Carpenter has given it. This is my second most anticipated film of the year, and now after watching it, I am just left with anger, confusion, frustration, and disappointment. 4 out of 10.
Happy Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy everything, happy New Year. It's gonna be cool. 2019 is gonna be lit, and I hope that lit stays in 2018. Boy!